He's coming in fast, folks. A very enthusiastic white tiger just let out from his indoor bedroom. Checking out some fun enrichment, huh, Thor Jr.? He says, I'm going to go to the other end where you aren't right now. Classic cat. But hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I guess I will go chase Thor down, although knowing him, he's going to end up going back over to the paper. But welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Happy hump day, some might say. But we're hanging out with Wild Woodlands today. The tiger side of Wild Woodlands, we like to say. Thor Jr. Enjoying some scatter feeding enrichment, of course. It looks like he had a piece of, let's see, that's a chicken quarter, it looks like, on top of that barrel that he knocked over there. Caretakers are also excited about this paper enrichment they have set up for him, hoping he'll maybe break through, but good to connect with you all today. It is a beautiful day. Honestly, the perfect temperature, around 75 as the high today. It's breezy, it's sunny. Couldn't ask for anything better. So good to see you all. Good morning, Lisa. Hello, Carrie. Yay for comments, everyone. Good afternoon, Kendra Ditto says. Hello to my East Coast people. Good to see some comments. I think the last live post we did Monday, I wasn't able to see comments, and those have been inconsistent. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But hello and welcome to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We are a home, rescue, and sanctuary to 150 plus wildcats in need. Thor Jr. here being one of all those feline residents. Thor here was rescued from Tiger King Park. Yes, the notorious Tiger King. And now he gets to live his life out here at Sanctuary. Being the tiger he was always meant to be. Caretakers here setting up some species-specific enrichment after going into his habitat and cleaning it. As a no-contact facility, our caretakers, safety is the first priority, and so they lock out cats, so to speak. They shift them into indoor areas or shift yards in order to where they can safely enter habitats, place fun enrichment like this, and of course clean, because cleaning is important too. I'm slowly watching Thor puzzle out this enrichment. So, within that, Thor was just let out from his indoor bedroom, a very brief time in that indoor bedroom, and so he is investigating his yard for the first time. I do have to giggle a little bit. Looks like Thor is checking out maybe an unexpected habitat adaptation. One of his logs here kind of fell apart, so Thor, caretakers have to get back to fixing that, but oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. All right, Thor, let's see it. One more push through. I think there's a tiger on the interior of that paper triangle there. There is definitely a tiger on the interior of that paper triangle there. I hear some giggles from the caretaking team in the back. But where's the tiger? Jill, where's the tiger? I'm seeing some movement. I saw, a hint of white back there. Seeing some stripes. What are you doing, Thor? I'm half expecting him to just kind of pounce out of there. There he is. Oh, there's food in there. Okay. Well, that's super fun. Food inside of this awesome paper fort for Thor Jr. So he is working on that right now. I'm sure we'll see him on the other side, figuratively and literally here in just a moment. But let me get into some comments. I see them continuing to roll in. Or Thor, maybe I should just let you have a moment to shine. There he is. Thor, what do you think? That's pretty fun. No fear with this guy. Some of our cats, I think they would be a little more hesitant, but Thor Jr., you didn't hesitate. There he is on the other side. Okay, now, like I said, comment section. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Jessica saying, good morning. I love these. My mom used to watch all these all the time before she passed away. Well, Jessica, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. So special to know that your mom was often here with us on these live posts. So extra special to have you here. So thank you for commenting. Carrie Miller, Thor Jr. looks like a hunky 400-pounder. Do you know his actual weight? I do believe his weight is right around 400 pounds. Jill, do you happen to know off the top of your head how big Thor is in weight? He's right around 400 pounds. I had to guess, Carrie, and I'm not the end-all be-all, fact book here, but honestly probably closer to 420, 425. He is one of our bigger boys, not in height like Tarek or Noah, but he's really just a dense and muscular boy, so you're not too far off, Carrie. Mira saying hello to me, keepers, cats, and of course the dog. Krista, oh no, damaged in Iowa homes are destroyed. Was there a tornado or a storm? That is horrible. I've not heard about that yet, but hope all of our followers are okay and safe. Gail Cook saying hello from Oregon. Hello, Gail. Good to see you. Maria saying good morning as well. Krista, good to see you. Yep, Carrie, he found another chicken quarter. Exactly. He found some chicken, probably some beef back there. Dave, that's nice that Thor Jr. is your favorite guy to watch play. Well, this is the live post to catch. I'm glad you're here. Debbie Sams, hello. Good to see you, Debbie. Hope Brianna's doing well. I know, Marcy, what a handsome fellow to open the live, and he did with a crash and a bang, literally, but good to see him out and active. Like I said, it's a warm day today, but it's a pleasantly warm day. There's a breeze blowing through here. You might see the grass kind of moving in the wind. It's perfect cat weather, as we like to say. But Thor, knowing you, you're going to focus on that ball for a little bit. We have places to be and cats to see, so we're going to keep moving. Jill, I'm following you. We're going to stop in with Nova because I know Nova got some scatter feeding enrichment. And then Jill here is being a great sport because she's on mic duty. I've told her when to turn on the mic. These mics are so awesome, but if you aren't aware that they're on, then no matter how far away you are, it picks up your voice. So I'm not putting her on the spot yet. We'll get to that right at the end of the live here because we have just some feeding. I enjoy that time. It's good to catch up with the caretakers, see the cats, and good to kind of catch everybody up on what we do and why we do it. And so we'll do some feeding with Indy and Dash here at the end of the live. Raquel watching from Florida. Kelly from North Carolina. Hello, hello. Kathy Silva saying hello all. Hi, Nova. Thank you for the chuffs. Now you're going to pounce when I move back? What do you want to do? Do you see caretakers with buckets? Yes. You sure do. Marilyn Grant, hello. Happy hump day to you as well, Bree. Donna asking, where is this? This is the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. We are closed to the public. We are a rescue and sanctuary for 150 plus wildcats in need. So good news, this live that you're on is actually one of the best ways to catch up with the cats, see the cats, and learn more about what we do. So thank you for commenting. I'd encourage you to check out our website, but more so just hang out on this live post because you'll get to meet some of our rescued residents here. Nova, for example, the tiger. She was once kept as a pet. She came to the Wildcat Sanctuary. After that, obviously tigers do not make appropriate pets. What do you think, Nova? Now she gets to live a catered lifestyle, catered to her species-specific needs here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. One of those needs being pools, huh, Nova? So welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're new, like Donna, feel free to comment. Say hello. I'd love to say hello to you, too. Barbara saying, all the tigers, how wonderful. I think we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 tigers today, so that's a good percentage there. And Marcy, that is so relatable. Feeding time here too. Time to share a banana with therapy dog Baxter. I was actually just talking with a few people, actually Victoria, the media intern, and then Judson the other day about how much all of our dogs, past and present, have loved bananas. So that's a funny comment. And my Ziggy loves a banana too. Little different than feeding time here, though, for our carnivores like Nova the tiger. Barbara asking, how's Indy doing? Well, Barbara, make sure to stick around till the end of this live, because we'll be checking in with Indy. And if you can't, then know that these videos are on our Facebook page for 30 days. It used to be indefinitely, but Facebook changed their policy, so now Facebook Lives stay on our page for 30 days. But I will say we also put our live posts on YouTube. So another way, if you can't hang around for these lives, to check in later and still make sure you aren't missing. We're going to keep moving. All right, Jill, you want to turn on that mic for me? Are you ready? It's on, I think. Yes. There you go. Okay, say hello. Hi. This is Gilmarie, one of our awesome animal caretakers here at Sanctuary, here in this zone with all of our tigers. So, Jill, why don't you just start by sharing who we're going to be feeding right now and then what you have in your bucket there.
Well, this is Mr. Dash. We're going to feed him along the fence today. So, yeah. Mr. Dash, he loves his food. That's pretty clear.
And how much is he, do you know pounds, how many pounds he's eating in a day, give or take?
Like around 6.
6? Okay.
7. Yeah, today is halfsies, so.
Okay. Well, Dash, it'll still be good, no doubt. It looks like some chicken quarters in there and some beef.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
That's pretty polite, Jill.
Yeah.
Polite enough for a tiger. I'll let some maybe tiger crunching noises. Let the mic catch it here. But a lot of people might ask, do you think it's important to add some context to this diet here? Mm-hmm. You know, big cats in the wild, they're eating not every day. They're eating in large quantities, maybe once a week, if that. So a lot of people ask, like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like enough for a big tiger like Dash. Well, actually, if you think about it, he's getting fed at a different frequency than cats in the wild might eat. Mm-hmm. That's important for here in captivity and for husbandry, Jill. Mm-hmm. Do you want to maybe detail some of the reasons why Dash here gets fed every single day?
Well, first of all, to keep, you know, it's important to always keep like a healthy weight here. And also, you know, kind of helps them, you know, to be more proactive during the day. You know, maybe they, you know, if you have them in a constant state of maybe, you know, hunger or something, they can tend to be destructive.
Yes.
And we don't want that.
Exactly.
And we actually offer food enrichment, which also helps in like solve puzzles and stuff, finding for their food. You know, not all the times we have to make it easier for them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's for mental stimulation too.
Yeah.
It helps a lot, you know, to keep them busy, away from destructing their habitat.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, though. I mean, these cats, we always say we don't want to be in business. Our hope is to end the captive wildlife crisis and to not have to have cats like this in our care. But the fact of the matter is, these cats are in captivity, and so it's our job to make sure they're happy and healthy. And so part of feeding every day is also for husbandry, Jill, which is it's a fancy way of saying you taking care of the cats here. So it's important for what we were talking about with Thor earlier, making sure that they can shift into their indoor bedrooms, making sure that you can put eyes on them and make sure they're looking healthy. So eating every day, a little bit different than how the wild might work, but it works really well for our cats here.
Correct.
And it makes, you know, this situation, although captivity is not the most ideal thing for a wild animal, it makes their wild at heart life here just a little bit better.
That's correct. And here we have Miss Indy.
Hi, Indy.
Hello.
And even Kathy saying, my cats tear things up if they're bored. Yep, so do our tigers.
Yep.
Gives them something to look forward to during the day. And like you said, Jill, you can feed them like this or with a puzzle toy.
Yes. Indy has a couple of puzzle toys. No.
That's a good girl, Indy. And what's she eating today? Probably similar to Dash, chicken and beef?
Yeah, we try to keep we like to give them variety. So it's a mix of boneless meat and bone-in.
This is a good moment here. She's being a tiger.
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
Telling me off. Yeah, that bone-in is important too. Sometimes people ask, oh, a raw diet or the bones, do the bones splinter? But just like tigers in the wild, we want to make sure we're giving them a species-specific diet.
Correct.
And it's important for even their muscles so that they don't atrophy to give them bones.
Yeah, it helps them a lot with their, muscle and bone structure in their faces.
And their teeth.
In their teeth.
Yeah. Indy's like, can I have more, please? I know. Little girl.
Okay. We have some more enrichment planned for her, so she will have more.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And these cats are getting enrichment often, a few times a week, and then they obviously have their free roaming habitats with pools and platforms and all sorts of things. I am seeing lots of new people here, so welcome, hello. If you missed it, this is the Wildcat Sanctuary. We are a rescue and sanctuary to 150 plus wildcats in need. We are just here feeding Indy. Before that, Tiger Dash, before that, Tiger Nova, and then Tiger Thor, all rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. If you'd like to learn more about our mission or you still have questions, feel free to ask a question in the comments. But also our website's a great resource here on Facebook, reading our social media posts. But as a true sanctuary, we do not buy, breed, trade, or sell our cats. We are no contact. These cats are not meant to be pets. We don't treat them as such. We treat them as the wild animals they are. So all important things that make our mission possible, and that mission is ultimately and most importantly supported by you and your support. Hi, Dashy. What do you think? Hi, Dashy. What do you think? Are you looking at your friends or you're looking at your caretakers? Kelly's saying, little Indy is not so little. Not anymore. No. She's, at around 3 years old, she's pretty much full grown. Dash here I'd consider full grown, with the exception of maybe building on a little more muscle mass. These cats, once cubs here at Sanctuary, it makes me so emotional to think about, but once cubs, they are now full grown big tigers, big and powerful tigers. Kathy, good point. Calcium is a requirement in human diets too. For proper muscle and bone function, cats are a lot like humans, especially in that way, Kathy. Yeah, and there's other essential vitamins and nutrients that we're making sure our cats get in their diet, like taurine especially. I'm sure a lot of you cat owners are familiar with that. But Jill, what do you think? You've been in a few different zones now, which just means you've worked with a lot of different species here at Sanctuary. What are you learning about tigers, or what do you like about tigers? Because I think before you weren't around tigers as much, were you? With the exception of feline meadows.
Feline meadows, yeah. I used to work with the little guys a lot. Bobcat servals, and I believe how can I say, like, all of them have their own challenges, when taking care of them. I would say these guys, we just have to keep a very close eye with their enclosure maintenance.
Yeah,
because
they're
dig.
big cats. Yeah, exactly.
Cats. They like to dig. They like to destroy platforms.
Yes.
So yeah, I believe in terms of destruction, these guys are all out of the line.
Yeah. Dash, you hear that? You're a big destroyer, Dash. I don't know that one. You've been a destroyer since you were a baby. Dash the destroyer. But I think that's a good point. Different species require different levels
of care. And of course, we always, like you said before, like we are no contact, so we keep our hands out of their space. No, it doesn't matter the species. It's good to acknowledge that these guys are wild at heart, and we need to respect that space.
Exactly. Well said. Jill, it's like you have our messaging down pat, but it's true. You know, neither of us are going to expect Dash to behave differently than a tiger would. You know, I think that a lot of our cats are friendly, and certainly they are, and they enjoy human interaction, but we would never want them to pay consequences for their instincts.
Absolutely.
Faith, thank you for dropping some educational links in the comments. You're always so good at that. Maria saying hello from warm Philadelphia. Kristen, your sponsor mom says she loves you, Dash. Lots of people love you, huh? Well, Jill, I won't put you on the spot any longer. Thank you for chatting with me. I can take that mic from you, but I appreciate you giving us a little insight into the care of these guys and for setting up such fun enrichment today. So everybody give Jill a round of applause in the comments, too. What do you think, Dash? What do you think? Perfect. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Well, everyone, we'll hang out for a little bit longer, but a fun live today. Checking in with the youngest tigers here at Sanctuary along this path here. We'll go check in with Nova. Yeah, Marcy, he does. And Marcy commenting that Dash has such a beautiful stripe pattern. He does, and, you know, it's worth mentioning, too, that just like human fingerprints, all tiger stripes are different. And so they all do have their own unique pattern, but I like Dash's pattern a lot. I think also, you know, Nova here, she stays pretty fluffy overall. You know, it takes her a longer time, if ever, to get that sleek summer coat. I think Dash's stripes are really accentuated because he has that sleek summer coat. Nova, you have your own type of beauty. You have some of the prettiest eyes, don't you? And your stripes are beautiful, too. Let's see, I'm getting into some comments here. I'm seeing lots of comments about Winona toys. Yeah, pretty girl. We're going to go check in with Thor. Maria also agreeing that Dash has such gorgeous stripes. Yeah, commenting on toys. Well, we did have a donor just donate a new toy. So if you're on this live or see this, those photos will be heading your way. But those tiger toys, they're heavy duty, and they are a pretty steep price. But it is pretty incredible thinking that I go to the store and buy toys for my cats and dog. The difference between a tiger toy and a domestic animal toy. Those are thick plastic. Of course, everyone commenting about Winona's barrels. Winona is one of our rescue tigers here that has an affinity for big barrels. And to know that she can just bite right through them is pretty impressive. So those heavy duty toys, they have to be that way for these powerful tigers. Maria greeting Nova. Thor, you enjoyed your enrichment a lot. That was fun. I have a feeling that he's going to keep kind of puzzling out if there's anything left over for him. You know, the cats kind of anticipate when their habitat gets cleaned that there'll be something nice left for them. And sometimes it does include, you know, scatter feeding enrichment that comes all the way out to this end of the habitat. So Thor is just making sure that he's covering his bases here. And then if I had to guess, he does have a favorite spot under those shady trees over there. He will probably end his little adventure with a cat nap under those trees. And he kind of seems to be heading that way slowly but surely. But of course, just double checking his work. And spraying, of course, like a good tiger should. Marking his territory. Lorinda saying, beautiful face, love them all. Well, thank you for being here, Lorinda. They really are such beautiful animals. And it's such a privilege to be able to share them with all of you, especially on these live posts. Are you taking a poop, Thor? Well, I don't know if I need to show the camera that. I'll zoom in on your side profile. How about that? He says, I'm not just sniffing out enrichment. I have to use the bathroom. I feel like I'm violating your space, Thor. I didn't know you were going to do this. How rude to do on a live post. That's so funny. Okay, Thor. Well, everyone, Thor's done. I think we might use that as our cue to wrap up the live post here. But of course, it was so wonderful to have you all, especially some new faces. If you have any questions that were left unanswered. Oh, and there goes Leo. Let's see if we can listen. A little bit of a lion song there to cap off our live. But as I was saying, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Check out our website. It's always so great having you all here, especially the newbies. So Tammy will be on for her Wildcat wrap-up tomorrow. And we will see you all then. But thank you, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And see you next time.